Hello BookTube, this is Dario. Welcome to my channel Motley Reads. In this video I'm going to talk about this book, Foucault's Pendulum by Umberto Eco, written 1988, and it's this beautiful copy is a Swedish copy, and here's the thinking man himself. 650 pages chunkster, a dense one, a really dense one, but quite interesting one. So what is about this novel? This novel is I read Echo before. Name of the Rose is the most known novel by him. It was my favorite book many years ago, and since then I haven't read much of Echo at all. This book was somewhere on my radar all the time, but it just seemed to be too intimidating, and I heard lots of things about it as being difficult to read. Then I heard Jason from the BookTube channel Byways and Bookland talking about this book as his favorite book of all times, and then he announced that he will do a read-along in July. And then I utilized the opportunity. Okay, I need to jump on this read-along. If I am gonna read this book, it has to be now. So I got myself a copy and jumped into it. And Jason's announcement video I'm going to link down below, and subsequently Jason published a couple of really great in-depth going videos on Foucault's Pendulum, which I warmly recommend you to watch. Now, what is this book about? It is known as a book of a mockery of conspiracy theories. That's the reputation that the book has. The plot of the book is it's about these three guys, three editors at the publishing house, academic publishing house in Milan, Italy, who are studying mysticism and Hermetic philosophy and the Knight Templars, and decided to try to connect together different conspiracy theories into one great conspiracy theory and create this big plan. So from the very beginning, this was just a mockery from their side, making fun of the whole thing and trying to find these links between events in a world that you don't understand, and all the conspiracy theories about these events, and linking them together into one this huge plan. The whole thread of this plan is going. It is taking his starting point in Hermetic philosophy, which is this branch of philosophy that is concerned with the seeing a world, seeing a universe as a one being, basically one being with a soul, where heaven and earth are linked together, when energies are flowing through the world, and you should be able to participate and feel these energies, and there are lots of through the history, lots of religious mysticists in different religions. In Judaism, the most well known is Kabbalists. In Islam, like Sufis. There are also in Christianity like Knight Templar mysticism. Lots of religious mysticists that are concerned with identifying these energy streams and getting into different transcendental levels of consciousness to become one with the world, and at the same time, you have all these esoteric societies, these brotherhoods, these secret esoteric societies like Freemasons, like Knight Templars, like Rosenkreuzers, masses of these different societies, which are somehow linked to these religious mystic movements, and what these guys are trying to do is basically link all these together into formulating this conspiracy that is concerned with identifying all these streams, controlling the streams of energy, and finding geographic middle point on the earth, in the world. When you reach that, you will be able from there to control everything that is happening on earth, all the happenings of weather and everything. You should be able to have a full control, and you get into these streams through applying different mystical rituals, through doing alchemy, through that kind of stuff, and there have been in the world these religious mysticists and these esoteric societies throughout the history, from ancient times on all our continents. I'm talking about the Hindu cultures in Mesopotamia and Egyptians and different European cultures, and even in South America and everywhere. There have been these religious movements and these esoteric societies, and in this book basically they are linking all these together, starting from ancient history to Hitler. Basically, and somewhere in between, in here, there is this great Jewish conspiracy where Jews throughout the history, through this Kabbalah movement, that are one group actually that is struggling for becoming masters of the world. So this is this typical anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, and according to the book here, even Hitler and Nazis believed in this, and that's why they did Holocaust, and that's why these elaborate killings with all the documentation and Auschwitz and all that, because they were looking for signs among the Jews. So there is a great deal of all these theories in here, and lots of anti-Semitism, unfortunately. And what is happening here? These guys, they are working with this. They are connecting these things together. They are having lots of fun, but at the same time, people are appearing around them, coming to them, like Jason is saying, like sharks, swimming around and watching and looking, and trying to get piece of story, and all of a sudden this fun project that they are having is step by step turning into reality, into very, very serious reality. So this is basically the plot of this story. Now the book itself is structured in a way that is he's using this Kabbalah tree, the Sephirotic tree with these different Sephirots. So and the book is then divided into sections, one section for each of these Sephirot here, and then there are subsections. In total, there are 120 chapters in the book, and 120 is this is one of the mystical numbers. They are using lots of mysticism numbers like 736, 120, and so on. So there are 120 chapters here, and I can tell you that these first Sephirots, first groups of chapters, up until pages, I don't know, this is 650 pages, up until page 50 or 60, they were virtually impenetrable, extremely difficult to get through that. It was just packed with facts, packed with facts. It was almost incomprehensible to get through this. And to tell you the truth, if I didn't commit to Jason that I'm going to read this, I would have dropped the book. It was just, I can't read this. It's impossible to get through that. Jason warned us for that's what's going to happen. It's extremely dense and almost unreadable. So you get through that, and then things start to open up a bit. You get happy, start to read, and then bang, you hit the wall again, a section that is, deep dive into something that is very, very dense. Like, it feels like a diversion. And then back on track. And then again, bam. So first 250 pages in a book is this, dancing. Pretty difficult. And then after that, after 250 pages, the story opens, and then it starts flowing, and it is carrying you. And it's still very, very dense with information. You have in this book, I couldn't imagine that there is a book out there with more references, with more, deep research into this matter of mysticism and conspiracy theories like you have here. Every chapter is starting with a citation from a primary source, he appears, Umberto Eco appears that has done tremendous amount of research here. I can fully understand Jason loving this book very much, because it is frame of reference, really. It is like a handbook in mysticism and esoteric societies and conspiracy theories. Whatever you can think of in the way of historic conspiracy theories, you're going to find it here, and you're going to find the sources. You're going to find so much explanations and so much deep dives around it. So from that point of view, it's extremely well executed. There is also a spin-off of this book, a subsequent novel that he wrote. It's called The Cemetery in Prague. That is dealing with one thread here, specifically Jewish conspiracy. He's continuing that thread again. The whole anti-Semitic body of rumors and conspiracies is covered in that book. That's a separate book. So this it is a pretty difficult read, although rewarding both during reading and afterwards. And I can tell you, I consider myself being quite well read. 90% of references here, I didn't know what it is. So that meant that I had to Google a lot. So I've been doing a lot of Googling. I'm a kind of a reader, I want to really understand everything. So in the beginning, it was extremely difficult to me. But then afterwards, I just, loosened the grip and while, deep diving and researching things that I found interesting. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot here. And what happened when I passed these 250 pages, and when the story starts flowing more freely, then you start to think. And then you start to think about this particular work in the context of the current situation in the world. And I'm from the Balkans, and coming from Bosnia, I have lots of family and friends down there. People that I love and respect very much. Although we do have in most of aspects of life completely different views on how life should be lived and what things are important and what is reality and what is not reality. And what I mean with this is that people down there and in lots of Eastern Europe and the non-Western world, so to say, live in a completely different information bubble than the people in West are living. So I have these my dear friends and family that I have on Facebook as a friends and other social media. I get into their flows and see some in there, looking at it, clicking on their links and so on. I'm getting lots of different kind of information that probably most of you is getting. So what I'm seeing out there on social media is in this particular bubble where they are, which is a quite sizable bubble, and I would estimate that approximately half of Earth population is in that bubble, which is not the bubble where most of the people that are watching this video are in. In that bubble, this world is still active. This thing doesn't end with Hitler. It is ongoing still. It is ongoing, and it is ongoing violently. And what I'm talking about here is, there are lots of people writing about this. You can read it in op-eds in New York Times, in Swedish newspapers, and so on and so forth, about this, Russian troll factories and that are manipulating elections and so on and so forth. But what they are doing also, they are maintaining, these conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theories that are out there right now, anti-Semitism all over the place, still ongoing along the lines from this book, basically, Jews striving for mastery of the world. It is very much conspiracy theories about the role of the tech companies, like companies like Google, like Facebook, like the other IT companies, all of them being controlled by Jews that are now taking the control of our everyday life. There are lots of conspiracy theories about big pharma, big pharma linked with COVID-19. And that they have started all this thing in some way. They are implicating even Bill Gates being behind COVID-19, and together with these big pharma companies from Switzerland being a place where Jews are hiding their money, and they have all these big pharma companies with these Swiss big pharma companies. They are creating some these vaccines that they will force everybody to take, and these vaccines, they're going to have all these kind of nano robots that they're going to put in us so that they will control us, like in dystopian novels of Aldous Huxley or and likes. There are conspiracy theories about George Soros being mastermind behind this all, being one of the richest people in the world. He's a Hungarian Jew that is financing all these things. Davos in Switzerland, the meeting in Davos being a place where this secret world government is meeting, and they are working out their conspiracy. And the people need to prepare for revolution, for a movement against this esoteric society consisted of Soros and Gates and Sergey Brin and Larry Ellison and all these guys. They are being in there, so they are there, and everybody has to mobilize against them. So this is basically the story. This is a story about conspiracy, one of the stories, and this story is basically linking back through the time, through the decades. So this is linked back to moon landings. They never happened. Look at this Apollo 2 command module. This has never happened. So this is just something that Stanley Kubrick actually did for NASA. Made movies about this. We've never been in space. Earth is flat. These airplanes that are flying over us. The white stripes of the white straps of vapor, it's actually chemtrails. It's the chemicals that they are pouring over us, so that they are putting poison on us, that they poisoning our mind. 5G mobile networks stations, they are there also to control us, and they are also spreading COVID-19. The Elon Musk's Starlink satellites, they're also part of this global conspiracy, and all this started with these DARPA and NASA projects back in the 60s, and JFK, he knew about this. That's why they killed him. And also Alan Turing, the computer scientist, UK computer scientist, who was one of them to break German Enigma code, they killed him also because of this. And Nikola Tesla, the Serbian-Croatian scientist, main rival of Thomas Edison, also was killed because of being in some way involved into creating these technologies for control of the world. So all of that, everything is linked in their world. Exactly like these guys here, they are mocking, they are They are, trying to find, some threads here, between the different, these different theories, and trying to create some, oh, this link look, it makes sense. It's beautiful, so it's truth. This is exactly the workings on the social media today. And the people are not kidding. We are talking about millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, potentially billions of people believing in this, indulging in this. So, this thread from here, that where this book is ending, it has continued, and through social media, it completely exploded and is reaching more people than ever, and it's on 24/7. You just turn YouTube on, Facebook on, and it's out there. It's out there, and it's poisoning your mind. So this is what is happening in this era of social media. So I was thinking very much about this when reading this book, and then another thing struck me as well when I was thinking about this. The time that we are living in now. Now, this book was written in 1988. Back in mid-90s, I was undergraduate at university. Social media started up back then. First social media thing was IRC, interrelay chat, that we were using a lot back 95, 96. Also, I started programming back then and working with robotics projects. The neural networks for learning algorithms, they came up at that point of time. All that, basically Eco, of course, missed because, he wrote about the time before these things happened. So social media came up and artificial intelligence came up. So when I was start thinking about this, I was thinking about social media, and then I was start thinking about artificial intelligence, and I mentioned a book recently. This book, Hello World, by Hannah Fry. Hannah Fry she's a scientist. She's a professor of mathematics at University College in London, and she's giving basically state of the art with artificial intelligence. What systems, different AI systems and learning algorithms can do in the area of law, in medicine, cars, crime, art, and so on and so forth. What they can do right now, and how they are starting to escape our control, because these learning algorithms, they are learning how to come to best outcome, and not in a way that we have programmed them. We are programmed actually to learn and to basically derail from the path that we have given them. So oftentimes we cannot, when they come to certain result after a certain time, we cannot replicate, we cannot understand why they did that, because they have their own logic, they are coming, they are have their own life. Not consciousness, whatever consciousness is, but they are still living the life that we didn't tell them how to do that. So the algorithms that are out there right now, it's pretty scary stuff if you don't regulate it thoroughly. So she's writing about this, and this is state of the art. And then I was thinking about the book by this guy, Max Tegmark. He is a professor of cosmology at MIT in Boston. He wrote this book. The name of this book is Life 3.0, Being a Human in the Time of Artificial Intelligence. This is a copy in Swedish. It is written in English originally. He's a Swedish. Originally Swedish, but now he lives in the US and works at MIT. And he wrote a book basically that starts where she's ending, so to say. This book is starting from, current state of the art, so where is this whole thing going? Max Tegmark is a founder of Future of Life Institute, that is researching the consequence of proliferation of artificial intelligence, and it is financed. This institute is financed by Elon Musk as a main financier. There are other financiers there as well, and they are doing lots of cool stuff within this area. He's writing in this book about about the line of thinking here, and it's pretty scary line of thinking, I would say. It's after a while, after the things that you would expect about where is this going when we lose control about on artificial intelligence and so on and so forth, it starts kind of to derail. or it's not derailing, it's actually developing in a direction that I really didn't expect, where artificial intelligence is actually escaping our computer systems and our networks. We are totally losing control over it, and then it started to control our all the full computer network in the world, all the devices, all cloud and everything. We're losing control over it. It takes over the control, and it's growing, and it's utilizing energy sources to feed itself, to give life to itself, and it needs more and more energy, and it needs more and more storage. So it's searching new ways of getting energy and getting storage. And this is, from one thing to another, it at the end is leading it to utilizing bodies in cosmos, like black holes, quasars, all the different objects in the cosmos for generating energy, utilizing organization, and ultimately it's turning universe into a being, into one organism. You follow me? So this is, so you take this and you take this. And then here we are talking about, Hermetic philosophy. So there is a in the world, there are, these streams of energy that we are struggling into understanding and struggling into getting under control, right? Moving into a situation where we as the humans, from, here we have a universe that has a soul, that is one organism that we are trying to get control over, and here creating that organism. Or maybe, we are getting control over that organism. It's a pretty interesting line of thinking, really. So to me, this is another take of this Hermetic philosophy, taken from a different direction, and by taking technological development in the world right now, and taking it like extrapolating where it is leading in that direction. So that was quite interesting thought, and as a thought in itself, I was thinking that, okay, he's a cosmologist, he's MIT guy, and so on and so forth, but it is like a fabulation, stories, freewheeling. How do you really get there, and is this really, how founded is this in scientific research? I would say, not very much at all. I couldn't see lots of evidence to it here, although thoughts are very interesting and there is a certain logic to it, and it's clearly linked with this, all this Hermetic thinking and so on and so forth. But then I come across this book. So now I didn't read this book yet, I just got it. I saw a review done by Mark Nash on this book. He liked this book very much, and I also saw an interview with the writer Sabine Hossenfelder. And Sabine Hossenfelder she's a research fellow at the Frankfurt Institute for Advanced Studies, and she wrote this book about how beauty leads physics astray. And she's telling about the world of theoretic physics. She's a theoretical physicist. She's talking about the world of theoretic physics today that is completely parted from the reality. In search of beautiful theories, of universal theories that will link microcosmos with macrocosmos, and in one beautiful theory where everything is linked, where we understand everything, potentially being able to control everything. They are looking through mathematical formulas and in mathematics to find the shape of the universe, So they are in a modeling language. So basically mathematics is really modeling language. It is helping us to model the world to be able to solve some problems. But in the language themselves, in the mathematics, they are looking for beauty there. So they have completely decoupled this from the reality and are creating mathematical story of the world. And it is going to be beautiful. It is going to be mystical. It is going to create a picture of the world that we fully understand all the links of the whole universe, with all the links that we hope at some point that we will be able to control if we do not get lost in math. And to me, there is a interesting link here, and as I was talking about these conspiracy theories in the social media and so on, if scientists are behaving like this and giving food for thought to all these lunatics in social media that are generating all these conspiracy theories, we are going to turn current science into alchemy of the past, and utilize the social media as a megaphone to engage more and more people into this, nonsensical search for truth, and it is making all these things, all these conspiracy theories, from some fun thing to read as a fiction, into something that could potentially kick our society out of the tracks and really hurt us as a human beings, because the way this is leading, it is of course good thing to have a visions, to have ideas and so on and so forth. But if we are pouring billions and billions of research funds into things that are necessarily not helping us to lead into anything constructive, I think that the public acceptance of scientific research is going to get reduced, and then we are getting into really dangerous place. So Foucault's Pendulum, it gave me a lot of food for thought. It was a very difficult book to read. It was very frustrating, but it was very rewarding read, and it opened up quite a lot of thoughts in me, and I think that is going to stay with me for a very, very long time. So why don't you pick it up and try yourself? Bye.